So I know how to start the episode. Sydney just asked, how do you measure a bullshit? Discuss.
Okay, I thought you were like, and I have experience with this.
Ellie also just opened up with, don't worry, guys, I know how to open this episode. And then said one thing and said, discuss. As if,
No, the other thing about it that's funny is before that happened, I don't know if we were recording, but we also sang Say You Will, Say You Won't.
By, oh God, what's their name? Clue, not Clue.
Oh, yeah, what was their name?
Click, no.
Bewitched? No.
Bewitched!
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
There
nailed
it
it.
is.
God, I loved them when I was growing up.
Oh, yeah.
Man, their outfits in that music video, I watched it recently. Don't ask why.
Oh.
It's weird.
The whole music video is so good. It's like weird green screen, and it's so sexual. It's like a very sexual song about like, hey, boy, like, come make out with me or like have sex with me or something. Or don't. Say you will, say you will, say you won't. Say la vie.
I think that pretty much qualifies as one measure of bullshit.
Right.
Wait,
What
does?
The Bewitched.
Right? Like what we did.
Oh, singing the Bewitched song.
No, I mean like when we started talking, I was like, and then there was that other thing. And then we like went on a little journey. A word journey, if you will. A story.
A mind journey.
Yeah.
A story. As
And
then, call it.
now I feel like we've measured one unit of bullshit. And yet, I feel like that's not enough.
I feel like we could go longer.
Yeah, and I was going to say about that, you know what you just did reminds me of those types of podcasts that are like pausing a movie and then they go back to talk about the 30 seconds they just
I'm
watched.
doing the commentary actively for the episode while we're doing it.
We're doing Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, while we're recording an episode where this is the most meta thing.
So what just happened? And I'm like, that was a full measure of, and I hate those things, those podcasts.
So Anne, get the fuck out.
I fucking hate what you're doing right now on my fucking podcast.
And I told you I would be honest with you.
I know there's like a plethora of people who love DVD commentary on movies and stuff, and then they would listen to the director talk while they're
I
watching
love it.
I personally, I don't.
Figured you would love it, but
I personally don't like it either.
me neither.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's because
It's a shame you're both so wrong.
Interesting.
Interesting
But
take.
hey, you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Yeah. No, you are entitled to your wrong opinion. No. Here's the deal. I don't like it all the time. It depends on who it is. It depends on how it's done. I wouldn't want that to be the first time I watched a movie. But if it's something like my favorite version is the Lord of the Rings Extended Edition. Has ones with designers, ones with the cast. And you can just hear all these incredible stories
Yeah,
while
I've
you're
watched some
watching
of them on YouTube, and they're very good.
They're
for Lord
very
of the Rings.
good, but like I've seen those movies a million times, so that's fine because I would probably be like playing Tetris or something while watching them anyways.
Here's what I say. If I was still getting all of my media from like renting DVDs at Blockbuster and watching them on my DVD player in my living room in the house I grew up in, where you could go to the extras menu where they had like the commentary, the games. You ever go to like the Shrek DVD menu and it's like, we've got games, we've got music videos. If everything was still like that, I'd be like, fuck yeah, they're on the commentary. I'm going to play some games. I got a lot I got to do with this film. I'm not done with it yet.
I was always looking for like deleted scenes.
Bloopers?
Bloopers, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's so interesting. So my cousin lives in LA, and her whole job was creating the user experience for DVDs.
Oh, the menus and everything.
The
just
menus and like deciding what should be there and how it would create a fun experience for people. And I remember that this is the first time I've thought about it since she told me what she did when I was much younger. But now I'm thinking like,
what's she doing now?
what is she doing?
You should ask her.
I mean, there's so many fun jobs that are just so completely obsolete.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what was it? Someone, that job that, like, the whole purpose was to wake people up in the morning.
Oh,
like,
the town crier.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
that's not the crier, but it's something where they would just, like, ring a bell and they'd be like, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
6 a.m. Like, screaming in the streets. Yeah, fuck. Why don't we have that anymore?
Yeah, that or like icebreaker, like not the comedic icebreaker,
The
but
ships?
the like no, like an actual
salesman?
icebreaker, like someone who collects ice.
So
like
I've got another
from the huge
I've got
fucking
another
block.
story for you. Once upon a time,
Your same cousin was an icebreaker?
My same cousin. No, I'm kidding. My grandmother, when she was a kid, her parents died to scarlet fever.
Wow. Oh my God.
Shout out past pandemics.
Tragic.
She's doing great. The big thing for them as kids, because no one could afford to do much more, and down south where she was living, it was a pretty rural community and there wasn't a lot going on, and the kids wouldn't go out for ice cream. They would wait for the ice cart. And a guy with his horse would pull the ice down the block, like chipping off things for people's ice boxes. And if the kids were nice, he would give them the little chips.
Like a snow cone.
A chip off the old block, if you will.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
And just like, but it wasn't, it tasted like cold water. Like we're talking about, I can get that from my fridge. But the way I watched my grandmother talk about the good times when she had chips of ice in the summertime, she was like, it was just so cool and good and refreshing. And he let me ride on the back of the cart sometimes. And I was just like, you lived a different life.
Yeah, man.
When I see her use an iPad, it's such like, it's weird.
It breaks my fucking brain.
Yeah, because I'm like, all of that happened in your lifetime.
Yeah, man. Even trying to explain the internet to someone in the 1930s.
Yeah.
Like to try to describe the technology that was
invisible.
developed. Like Wi-Fi. Like, I mean, my grandfather's 93. So he was alive during the Depression too. And like the same thing, like him doing a FaceTime with me.
Like what?
Holy shit, Grandpa. Like you're so
doing
smart. It. Like I love you so much.
Yeah. Well,
But I mean, segue. When we play this game too, I really have to like, not that I'm historically accurate ever.
Unlearn what you have learned.
But really, because I'm just like, yeah, of course there's a carriage that took us to the ball.
Yeah.
Like, there's no fucking cars. Like,
exactly.
we have to get on a horse to go anywhere or a boat.
Oh yeah, it's super hard to write certain things because I've now taken it. Well, speaking of science and technology, I'm now taking you guys down a path of science and technology.
Yeah.
But in a time where I'm like, oh right, there's no such thing as electricity.
But it's really, it's at the turn of the century though. It's like really interesting. It's like going to a World's Fair before electricity where it was like, yeah, there's people showing off their great pig, but there's also people showing off like water wheels and like steam powered inventions and like wind up toys. And it's kind of like,
it truly is in the beginning of the industrial era that lend itself into the modern era and the atomic era. I'm talking like civilization.
There you go. There you go. Ellie gets all her knowledge from civilization.
It's the best game for that.
I feel like this is really relevant to where Astrid and Henrik are right now because we are so small in whatever this weird machine of Sweden is at this point, but we're like, we have front row seats to something so huge.
Yeah. And especially because in Henrik's mind, he's like, this is not science.
Yeah.
Like something is wrong here.
Yeah.
And sure, you can't imagine the next biggest thing. Like how would Henrik imagine electricity? Like impossible. But this fucking person using a gemstone to reattach an arm, Henrik is like, this is fucked up.
Yeah, but the thing is, we also have to remember what people were like back then because death was not as big of a deal probably to these humans because you lived closer to death. Like people died in childbirth, people died all the time. And also, like, we're in the beginning of so much new development. Like, I'm not saying that, like, you guys shouldn't worry about this at all. But I think, like, a lot of people are making, like, no, of course, this guy sacrificed himself for science. This is a good thing to do for humankind because look at all the things. Like, there's an optimism. Yeah, there's, like, this optimism. Human does not have the same value as they do now.
I'm reading the parts of the book that I read. A lot of what kind of stirs things up in these areas is where the industrial age starts to brush up against the more natural areas of the world.
Yeah. So last week, Sigrid Magnusson, who was introduced to you as a wife of a rich miner, and she performed some sort of human experiment right in front of a mesmerized crowd, using this huge piece of machinery and these strange stones that we have seen before. Maybe. I mean, let's not assume anything here. Let's not assume that this has anything to do with anything. And what you saw with your own damn eyes, how a severed forearm of a boy got healed with no mark left on his body. But you know that it happened because the whole machine is covered in blood and the floor is covered in blood. And so that's where we left off. And the room is now deadly quiet. And then it suddenly erupts in huge cheering and applause because people are dying of excitement. And all the people around you, they start flooding around Sigrid and her husband, and they're shaking their hands. Others go directly for the machinery. They're trying to understand what just happened. The vice chancellor, he's surrounded too, and everyone acts like they've won some sort of sports tournament. Like everyone's just clapping each other's backs. Even the people who have nothing to do with this, they're starting to be like, "Oh, go guys! Did you see what happened?" Like, "Oh man!"
Yeah.
As if they're suddenly part of this somehow.
So Astrid is still seated, like she's just kind of mesmerized by what just happened, and she sort of looks at Henrik blinkingly for a minute and says, "It cannot be that simple. Something like that, it must, I don't know, it would seem to have to pull from something. I mean, science would tell you that for every action, there has to be one in the opposite direction, right?"
Henrik is like scratching his chin, thinking too. Astrid, the stone. It looks familiar, doesn't it? If you're thinking what I'm thinking, maybe... He kind of looks around. Let's go up and look at the machine while there's some other folks looking at it too.
Sure. Yes, I agree. And we have to just blend in, she says, like never having blended in a day in her life.
Yeah. A lot of people are looking at the machine. A couple of medical professors walks over to the young man who's still unconscious. But then one of Sigrid's assistants puts some like smelling salt in front of him, and he wakes up. But he looks completely disoriented, and they're trying to like talk to him, but he's not responding at all. And while you walk over to the machine, it looks like you can't really see the stone anymore. It seems like, as far as you know, it's either gone or not shining anymore. Is there anything special you want to look at?
I want to look... If I can't see the stone, I guess... Yeah, can I look at the machine and do like investigation or learn? Is it going to tell me anything else about it if I...
Probably not.
Okay.
Like this doesn't look like anything you've ever seen before.
Can I look at the guy then?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to roll?
No, you can just walk over to him.
Yeah, I just want to see if he is able to like talk or anything.
His eyes are completely dark. Doesn't seem like anyone's home right now.
That's disconcerting.
So Astrid is going to continue to inspect the machine, looking for some kind of socket. Like where you would have put the gem.
Right. It looks like there's a pipe where you put something in, and then in the middle there seems to be branches coming out of it, either fueling it with energy or removing energy. And you do see there's some sort of stone, but it's completely gray now.
It's a gray stone.
Oh, as if it got used up.
Yeah, whatever power maybe it had. So she is going to try and use sleight of hand.
Oh shit.
Go ahead.
We've got precision, my highest stat, and stealth, my highest skill. And I would like to use my advantage.
I forgot about
giving me a total of 10 dice to roll.
Go ahead
for this impossible
I love
check.
how you're announcing the dice before you say how many successes you have.
Listen, 10 dice can all fail. We all know it.
We all know it. We've been there.
2 successes.
That's good, right?
You're 20%.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well, good news is that you don't get caught.
Yeah.
But you burn yourself at it.
Ooh.
So you can't remove it.
Yeah. So, but that's good to know, right? Like
the stone is hot.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Good to know.
That's a good solid info.
You turn around and you go, ow.
Yeah, exactly.
Hot.
Don't touch it.
Yeah. I'm just a silly woman.
Put your gloves back on, Astrid.
Yeah.
Fortunately, also for you, Mr. Magnuson, the big military man, his booming voice can be heard now over the loud commotion. Gentlemen, please, let's discuss further details over a glass of scotch. I am sure you have many questions, because he also felt like it got a little bit too overexciting in this room. And So they managed to sort of shuffle the whole crowd into the bigger ballroom next door, and they're leaving the machinery behind with a bunch of younger people who's cleaning up the unfortunate mess. But Sigrid is still there, and she's chit-chatting with one of her assistants who are furiously taking notes. And it looks like you have a shot to approach Sigrid.
Yeah, I want to go up and talk to her. Oh God, what was her last name?
Magnuson.
Is that her? I thought she had 2 last names.
That was Johanna Bra, the Count's wife.
Mrs. Magnuson.
Yes, and she's aged up a little bit. Like, now she looks like a researcher, but she's still, I mean, nothing has changed to her appearance. But
she just looks more formal, or like,
Yeah, she now when you're closer to her, perhaps you might have thought of her as younger than she actually is.
Gotcha.
There's something wise about her, something.
He bows a little bit. He says, my name is Henrik O'Doherty. As I'm sure everyone was, very taken with your work.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we've been working on it for a couple of years now, actually, and so they were very excited. But clearly there's a lot of improvements to be done still.
And then Henrik also introduces, he says, this is Astrid Nyberg.
It's Nyberg. Yeah, I know.
We're close friends. I know her name. I'll take that again. This is Astrid Nyberg, and I say it right when I introduce her.
And she's like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Astrid, and then I'm going to lie.
Oh, nice.
Astrid is actually a researcher that I've been working closely with. Is that the face Astrid's making?
No, that's the face Anne is making at you, where she goes, "Oh no!"
No.
No.
And he says, for the geology department, and actually, funny enough,
Here at the university?
No, I was working in Waterford. I only recently came out to Sweden to work with Astrid in these areas because, like I said, funny enough, the stone that you had held up and put into your machine looks so familiar. I do believe I've seen some in the area before. I'd love to talk to you more about it.
She takes off her glasses. That's interesting. You've seen them in this area before?
Not in Uppsala, but to the north. And I do believe there was some proprietors who had some of these stones that I have seen in the area.
And who were they? And she suddenly sounds very predatory. Like, tell me exactly who these people are who have my stones.
Unfortunately, they are no longer with us. It was left over in a will.
Ah. Well, if you would like to make a donation, we are grateful for any donation with these stones. I can assure you that these stones would be taken well care of in our possession. Do you happen to know where I can find more information about these stones? She seems to be like, these stones belongs to me.
Yeah. She kind of steps in at this point and says, well, you see, they were taken, unfortunately, upon his passing. It seemed like a very unfortunate business. He was caught with the stone and was wearing it like jewelry at the time, which I can now see was complete buffoonery, given what you've been able to show us this evening. But it was taken by some brigands in a dark alley, and he was left to die.
Okay, so you believe, who is this man?
She's gonna go for it. She says, what's Franzibal's last name?
Hansen.
Yeah, Franzibald Hansen?
The author.
Yes, she says, but a little too grateful.
And Henrik steps in too, and he goes,
yeah.
He was also a collector. He had many oddities. He's an odd man, I'll tell you that.
Yes, quite an imagination on that one. I've read many of his books. He passed away, you say. I'm sincerely sorry to hear that. Do you know what happened to... Didn't he have a residence in Uppsala?
Castle Gildenkreutz.
Right, that's the one.
Yes.
Are you his daughter? Or how did you...
In a manner, but no. I am... As my friend said, I pride myself on my research, but I am Lady Astrid of Gildenkreutz.
Ah, well, congratulations. You were his next in kin then somehow, but not his daughter. And she seems to be a little confused.
Yeah. And she says, he was good friend. She wants to kind of, now that the lie isn't really holding as much water anymore, she's going to test something else out and then try to see, maybe I can roll an observation to see how she reacts to it. And she says, yes, I mean, he was a collector, a bit of a hobbyist, and he was good friends with my mother. And she says they used to work together with some friends at the castle. Yeah, and so she just wants to, like, try to get a sense over if she talks about the society, like, just gently, if she seems to recognize any kind of...
The only thing she seems to be concerned with right now are these stones. She's like, are these two people idiots, or are they actually in possession of one of these stones? You know?
And she recognizes that, like, from minute one, she's been like, where's the stone? You know, like, where is it? And she has seen enough animals who are protective of bones to know what that behavior is. And she says, it really is a shame that he lost it. It would have been nice to be able to donate to an organization like yours.
Yes. These stones are incredibly rare, so if you do come upon one more, please don't hesitate to reach out to the proper channels.
I must say, I'm so impressed with the way you took over that room this evening. It cannot have been easy. How did you come to be so well spoken?
I simply talk about my passion. I'm an observer of nature. It's my calling, and I don't know if it's this generosity from my husband and from the people who help us fundraise this whole research center that makes me feel very excited about talking about these things. At the end of the day, I just want to help humans and foster science.
How did you become so involved at the mine?
Fortunately for her, an assistant shows up.
Yeah.
Shall we send this one to the asylum too? And then he notices you guys and says, I mean the hospital. Well, excuse me. As you can see, I'm quite busy. But please, any questions you might have about anything at all, especially if you find any more gemstones, feel free to reach out to me through the proper channels, and we shall discuss this further.
Henrik bows, and as he bows, as he's a little bit closer to her, he says, and if you want to discuss the properties of the stone, perhaps we could find the one that's missing. Good evening.
Ooh, that's good, Sid. That's good. She is like, I think a part of her is annoyed, but also incredibly curious about, like, oh, damn it.
And then
these are not idiots.
He takes Astrid's arm and just nods and then walks away.
Yeah.
And this woman is looking at you with, I mean, you guys might have just made yourself a very powerful enemy.
Oh, no!
No. Yeah.
All right. So the ball seems to be, unless you guys want to go and fundraise for this mission and give a bunch of money.
No, I feel like we can
the ball is over.
Retire
basically.
for after dinner drinks in the drawing room at home.
Exactly.
That sounds nice. I do want to get out of this cummerbund. I can't breathe.
How do you look fantastic?
How do you wear the corsets? Unbelievable.
They say your body sort of just changes.
Sounds bad. Sounds like it's not supposed to be.
Sounds like your bones should stay bones. They don't.
What you see as you are about to exit the ball is the young boy, who seems to still be very disoriented, being shuffled away into some sort of carriage.
Can we follow the carriage?
You can, but you know that it's also...
Screw after dinner drinks.
Exactly.
I want to know what's going on with that kid.
Yeah, like you know that he's being taken to an asylum, and you know about the asylum. So it's like this unbelievably, like, you don't want to end up in the asylum, so to speak. That's where they send people like you, basically, who are caught.
Okay, let's not follow him. I didn't realize we would know there's like one asylum.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's like there's the big university hospital. Mm-hmm. And then there's the asylum, but you're welcome to visit whatever you're welcome to do whatever you want.
Well, I would say let's head back to Jake Gyllenhaal to debrief.
Yeah.
Sure. And you, bada bing, bada boom, we're back in Lake Gyllenhaal. Now it's
there's a lake at the castle.
Now you're back in unless you wanted to do more roleplay, but I feel
we're good. We're fine.
We're back at the Gyllenhaal castle.
Yeah. So I feel like Astrid has spiked hot chocolate.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Delivered down. to the drawing room. We both have like robes and slippers, and it's a little bit probably. Actually, you know what? Everybody is probably asleep, so she waits for everybody to like go to bed, and then she is like, "I'll meet you back down here for spiked hot chocolate." Yeah. Because food is the most important part of any role-playing game. And when it finally, it's that thing where like everybody wants to be comfortable after being so trussed up for the entire evening. And like she probably shouldn't be so familiar because her husband's not there, but like her hair is down, she's in a robe, she's got slippers, she's snuggled up on the couch in front of the fire with Thor, just like his head in her lap, and she's just kind of like, I guess, thinking about everything, and she says, I don't like that woman, I don't think.
Honestly, I don't know what to make of her. I couldn't get a read on her. It was very difficult. I was trying to parse her words or try to understand why she was so invested in the stone. I mean, obviously she's invested in the stones, but how did she even find them to begin with? And how did she discover that you can reattach a limb by putting it into a machine? I just don't understand.
It was very hot.
The asylum.
Well, that's exactly what I was saying. There's always a cost. You cannot simply return to life or return to its former state, something, without taking something away.
You know what it makes me think of? A bit of the Philosopher's Stone. Have you ever read up on it? Sort of ancient alchemy. People believed that a stone could turn anything into gold. And they search for it, but there's always a cost in all the stories. But if she's got the power, which she does, and the money, which she does, and now the influence, which I believe she does after tonight, this could be very dangerous.
You got also like whatever the 1800 version of a pamphlet is of
okay, great.
From this new endeavor, where you can read about the Kiruna mine, how it was closed due to an awful accident that left a huge crater and killed over 400 men and anyone who lived within a 5-kilometer radius. The running theory is that it was sabotaged by local population, basically indigenous people who lived up there, and that Sweden just sort of took over because Kiruna, that part of Sweden, north of Sweden, did not used to belong to Sweden or Norway or any Scandinavian countries, but then they're basically blaming it on local population, and they've been finding minerals there that like traveled further down from this mine, and that's why they decided to reopen the mine, and now they're fundraising. So they're making it seem like even though they're seeking investors from other countries, they want to make sure that this remains Swedish and this remains in Sweden. This is the next step.
My question is the crater. So I'm assuming it was an explosion?
Yeah, they think that, yeah, exactly. They think that it was either an explosion of something that happened.
So it wasn't like a mine collapsed. It was like something huge happened.
Something huge happened that made the mine collapse, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
But recent research, due to the reopening, but also a lot of interest from various universities, Uppsala being one of the biggest investors, have made a lot of people want to go up there. And so there's this new research center, and they're just selling it in a way that it's like this is the beginning of something new and exciting.
And now refresh my memory. Franzibold had an emerald necklace.
Yeah.
Do we have the stone? We used it for the grave, right?
You opened up his grave just by touching it. There was no stone involved.
So we don't have... Okay, here's my question, Ellie. Do we have Franzibold's emerald?
No.
All right, fuck. I am going to suggest to Astrid, we need to find out if Franz had any books on the stone, any information in Gillenkurtz that we could take with us, and then I think we need to go up north.
To the mine?
It's the source. I had that dream. I just think if we can get more information and be prepared, we might be able to find the source and stop it, or I don't know.
I definitely want to know what these things are.
My fear is, like you said, you will think that it'll do one thing, when in reality, it's going to do more damage than good. So, I don't think she knows, Sigrid, what the stone is actually doing. It's doing one thing, it's maybe repairing a limb or attaching stuff, but who knows what the long-term effects could be.
I don't think she cares about long-term effects. People who speak like she does, who use people as fuel for knowledge, I won't say it's barbaric, because advances needs must be made, but there was something cool about her gaze. She did not have empathy for the rats in her maze. And that doesn't necessarily tell me that she doesn't know what the true properties are. It's that she doesn't care.
I think you're absolutely right.
I'm assuming you guys...
We're going to conduct some research and see if there are any books. Yeah.
Well, luckily for you, Algot has been up all night. You guys go to bed, I'm assuming, after this little, let's
Yeah, I think we say tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll do this. Whereas Algot might have overheard something. He's like, oh, dear God, I need to figure out what to do with these things, because he feels bad about, losing that thing from Francible that he said that you should find behind the portrait of his mother. And so he's been trying to find it. But then at breakfast the next day, he's like, there might be one more thing we haven't investigated yet.
Oh.
And then he says, follow me. He leads you down a corridor that even you, Astrid, haven't been here before. It's very cobwebby, and it leads to this door in the back room. Everything's made of stone. It's in the cellar. And you can assume that this used to be dungeons or something. And he's like, I haven't been down there ever.
Why didn't you tell me this was a thing?
Things happen around here very often. Things
What do you
disappear.
mean?
I do not wish to talk about it, and he is very uncomfortable down here. And you can, I think Algot is a little scared of the dark.
Do you want us to go and...
It's the only place I could think of. I've been searching through all of his journals, everything. I can't find anything, and he seems to be genuinely sad and frustrated that nothing, that Francible's last words seems to be gone.
Yeah. So Thor is gonna kind of trot down the stairs, and when he sees how distressed Algot is, he's just gonna lean his head against his leg and just try to be comforting.
Yeah.
And I think Henrik kind of clasps his shoulder in a nice way and just goes, Algot, well, we can take it from here. Thank you for showing us this.
Let's just get a torch and bring it down with us.
Henrik grabs an oil lamp and...
Yeah, oh right. We're not barbarians. God.
I grab a sconce off the wall.
Yeah.
I Minecraft a sconce, and here I come.
Rip it off the wall.
All right, and we get into the next chapter of this story called The Dungeons.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Oh, shit. We get to fight in the dungeon. We get to do a dungeon crawl.
Finally, people will be so happy.
I take out my sword.
They'll be like, finally, they're going to roll some fucking dice.
Yes, it's not how this game works, folks. Sorry.
Sorry, social intrigue only. GTFO.
All right, you enter the dungeons. And you can see there are 5 old cells. And this is even further down than the cellar. So this is really, really dark and deep down into the castle. This is probably built in the 1500s or something. It's barely... None of them have doors. Some of them have maybe the remnants of what is it called?
Bars?
Bars, yeah. They're not functioning cells for actually storing prisoners. But then you see that there are 2 doors, one leading to the left and one leading to the right. Mm-hmm. They're both locked. But fortunately, we have a lockpicker.
Henrik picks both of them.
Oh, cool. Do you need to do anything for that?
Probably. I would say probably stealth with precision. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll add my extra
That sounds like a good idea. I decided that's
Okay, you just decided?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks, DM. That's one success.
Well, you open at least the first door, and then I'll have you roll for the other one.
Oh, okay. So the one to the left, let's say.
Okay. Seems like no one has been inside of here for a long ass time. It can smell like a weird rotten smell, but it has a chest in it.
Treasure chest. I kick it and it opens up.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, you
That's how it works in every game.
It doesn't seem. Yeah, yes, it does open up when you kick it.
I kick it and it falls apart because apparently this dungeon is ancient.
Exactly.
Hold on one second. Can we just retcon something really quick? You get down there. You're like, the cells are destroyed. There's no doors, no bars. So you get to 2 doors and they have functioning locks.
Okay.
Go ahead and pick them. Fuck you.
Fine. I'm trying to create some sort of challenge.
Hey. Ellie, I love your storytelling. It's just so funny. I love it.
I'm not consistent, but but what I'll say is that perhaps some modern man has been down here.
Okay.
Okay,
what's in the chest?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
So in it, you find 2 books, and roll a learning.
One success.
1 success. Yeah. So you immediately see that it's like a weird looking whip. It's like it has a shaft and then like 5.
Oh, like
various,
a flail or like
5 like things.
Cat of 9 tails.
9, yeah, with spikes on it,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
know that this is used for self-flagellation.
Ooh. Okay.
And a self-flagellation tool, it's actually useful.
Okay.
It's a useful item because it gives one player a boost. I think it gives you a boost to your mental state or something. We can look it up later, but it's definitely something you might want to keep.
So a flail. Okay.
And then there's 2 books in there.
Okay. What are they?
One is called The Dark Surrounds Me by Morten Christensen. And the other one is Paholaisen Puhe by Vetti Koivisto.
Hold on. Say the second one's title again.
Paholaisen Puhe.
Paholaisen Puhe.
Does any one of you know Finnish? Like, would be able to understand Finnish, do you think?
I mean, maybe if that's something her mother would have been writing in or translating into.
Yeah, I mean, you can roll a learning.
Sure.
If you want, just
Sure.
to.
It's not bad. It's not a bad thing to roll. It's 5 whole dice. Maybe this time I'll succeed at something in this fucking game. 2 successes.
Ooh.
For the first time. That's it. I'm sorry.
So you know that Paholaisen means Satan.
Cool, she says and grabs it.
And Pue means words or speech, and so you can assume that this
It's
is
the satanic verses.
words, yeah, words of Satan or something.
Fuck.
Okay.
And Vetti Koivisto is a name, a Finnish name. But there's a note from Franzivold inside this book, if you would flip through it, that says, "Don't read this. Don't read this." Yeah, that's all it says.
That's it?
Don't read it.
Is there any note in the dog book?
Nope.
No. What does that book look like? A novel or just like...
It's like 1,000-page, like it's a big ass book.
What the fuck?
All right.
And you might be able to think a little bit more about these books, but then
Yeah.
you hear something from the other door.
Fuck.
Oh shit.
Both of
What
you.
is it? What do we hear?
Just something moving.
Okay.
Okay.
She goes, wait, and she puts up a hand. And she's gonna take out her notebook and listen to the sounds and just try to meditate on whatever that is and do some automatic writing for clues as to, because she now, based on the way Algit behaved about coming down here, she feels the energy, right?
Yes.
And so she's gonna take out the book and she says, at least I want to know what might kill us, you know?
I mean, it was just a sound. It might not have been a sound. It might have been just Henrik farting or something. You don't know.
Sure.
Astrid, I need you to know, I was not farting. There's
Okay.
something going on.
Great. So I'm going to roll inspiration, and on a success, I gain that many clues. And if I fail the roll, I gain a condition for
Oh, shit.
D6
Oh, Jesus.
hours.
Fuck. Okay. You sure you want to do this?
No, but like, am I really gonna roll? Let's do the math, right? If I roll inspiration,
Let me just say, if you use this talent now, you're not allowed to use it later in the mystery isn't over yet. I'm just saying.
shit. Okay, well, it's not. I'll save it. But I mean, it's 5 dice. What could go wrong?
Okay.
I
Well,
mean, I'm not gonna do it now.
okay. But
Yeah.
for the future, that would be
Yeah.
really good.
Do you want to try to open the other door?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and try.
Okay.
Precision.
Wouldn't it be so funny if I just fail and then I'm like, well, can't get into the room, so.
So
Up before you put in the lockpick, the door opens.
Oh. Henrik takes out his revolver.
Good thinking. Good thinking.
I
I have the oil lamp too.
Good.
have my dog and I have my crossbow, and I'm ready.
The second door opens up to a seemingly endless staircase that leads you even further down.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And there's a smell that comes out of it. And there's a pressure shift. Like you're underneath water. Do you want to go down?
I mean, no, but also I want to send Thor down there kind of ahead to just like check it out a little bit.
Don't do that. Are you kidding me?
No,
You want to kill off the
I
one?
just wanted him to smell.
You know that dog's gonna die if you send it down there. Like, you know he's gonna Marley and me that dog.
Oh yeah, this dog.
But I just want to be very clear that this dog is good at close combat. That's
Great.
why I have the dog.
Okay,
it was
maybe
a very
Thor-
expensive dog.
Thor, follow behind us.
Yeah.
And you feel comfortable, and I'll lead the way with the lamp.
Yes.
All right, so I slowly creep down the stairs.
Yes. You go down further and further. And you reach a small opening. With your lamp, you see in the ceiling there's an old chandelier hanging from it. And then there seems to be benches. And a table in the middle, like a low table. But there doesn't seem to be anything else
Henrik
in this room.
picks up a rock from the ground and throws it into the center of the room.
Echo, echo, echo. And the door behind you shuts.
Fuck.
Suddenly you can see shadows surrounding you that does not belong to either of you or the dog.
Oh no.
And it's creeping closer and closer in. Who are you?
Friends of Francibold.
They say they know Francibold. You suddenly hear.
Oh,
I told you they were not dangerous. Well, what did you want me to do then? They were waking up little Scrooly. Well, he was already awake anyway. You should go talk to them. Talk to them now? No. Yes. Hurry. I think they've already seen us. You should go down.
I didn't realize we were sharing our home with you. I'm Astrid Nieberg. I live upstairs.
A tiny little creature steps out from the shadows.
oh my god.
And he's no bigger than a
Spirit
large
me away,
rat.
Ellie. Spirit me
Yeah.
away.
He is no bigger than a large rat. And he's wearing an elegant hat and a petticoat.
Oh my god.
And he looks like a mix between a frog and a mouse. But
Oh my god.
he stands on his little hind legs, and I'll show you a picture.
Oh my god,
up.
you can't.
Shut the fuck up. God, I love this little gremlin man.
He's so perfect.
Henrik immediately kind of crouches down like you do when a child approaches you.
Yeah.
And he kind of like he's like kind of crouching down. He goes, hi there. I'm Henrik.
Hello, Henrik. My name is Horn, and this is my wife, Toss. And another tiny creature steps out who looks more like a hedgehog,
Oh my god.
and she's carrying a
Oh
small child.
My god.
What does the child look like?
Yeah, I mean, it's just
A mix
tiny,
between a frog and a hedgehog.
and it's tiny, like those big, like cat eyes, just staring up at you with very curious eyes. I'm sorry. Why are you here? Has there been a problem? We have not been informed about any renovations to this area. We just had our little one, you see, and
She kind of like lets out like a grateful like almost like a laugh, but almost a sigh.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, well, it's a pleasure to meet you. It sounds like you knew Franzibald from what you said.
Yes, we were very saddened to hear about Franzibald's passing. The whole colony was, actually, in fact. But we have...
We'll circle back to that sentence in a second. She says, it was very sad, but I was wondering if perhaps you could help us. You see, Franzibald wanted to help us find things that he had left behind for us up in his room, behind the portrait of his mother, right? Mm-hmm. Behind the portrait of his mother. And when we went there was nothing there. And you see his partner, Algit, sweet Algit, has been tortured by the fact that he's lost track of what might be Franzibald's last words.
Yes, I hate Algert. He's a very stern and strict man. I don't like him at all. But yes, we have...
Well, but he is human, and he did love Franzibald.
Right. I don't believe in love between humans.
Well, that's a whole other problem.
There's a lot of weird racial stuff going on that I didn't know about.
And by the way, Astrid, without rolling anything, you would know that these are vetters. They're the most common Vaesen.
Yeah.
They live in households with humans.
Are they like brownies almost? You know brownies from Irish folklore?
I don't, but...
They're like the little people who live in your house and sometimes like clean up things in the night or move things in the night.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you treat them nicely, they'll reward you with things. And so they're magical, but they're also but they're harmless. I mean, they can be.
What was the shadow thing they were doing?
They're good at like enchantments and
so they can like do magic.
Yeah, okay. They're magical, but they're also. And you can piss them off, like and so you probably shouldn't. But it's very cute because it's like if you're planning on renovations and doing anything to the house, you need to tell them.
You have to ask them, otherwise they're gonna lose it.
Yeah, or like get really sad and die. Like they have a whole they live in colonies and things like that.
Regarding Franzibald's belongings, yes, we have safely stored them.
Thank goodness!
As we were instructed to do.
Oh, that is great news. We've really been struggling to figure out what Franz wanted us to do.
What's Thor's reaction to these little creatures?
I think he recognizes them. I think he's seen them around.
He licks their faces.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he sniffles them. Yeah. He like plops down like with the butt up and the front paws down like in the play mode.
But they're like, it's a dog.
It's a dog.
We're not amused.
Could you show us? I mean, I'd love to see your colony too, but could you show us the items?
I will. I shall talk to my elders. One moment.
And he scurries off.
Yeah.
Leaves his wife behind
with the baby,
who's just looking at you.
I think Henrik says it's a beautiful baby.
Thank you.
Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Oh, what's her name?
Screwly.
Screwly is a very cute name.
Thank you.
I love your
face.
Cadence and your accent.
Thank you. I've worked on it for 5 minutes.
Can I ask you, what was this area used for? We weren't made aware of its existence, and I do apologize. It seems to have fallen into a bit of disrepair.
Yes, as far as I know, we've been here for a long time. Humans, they tend to have various activities going on. Sometimes we've seen people be screaming down here because they seem to have been in pain. But I know Franzibald, when he came down here, he used it for storage. He used it to protect things that he did not want the rest of the world to see. And he had us protect some of his things with our magic. He was very good to us. He was a very kind man.
Did he come down here with any friends?
No, never.
Only alone?
Only alone. And he wouldn't introduce us to his partner, which we always thought was weird.
I think Henrik says to Astrid, maybe Algit doesn't know as much as we think he does.
You know that Algid is not a sight. Does
Right,
not have a
right.
sight,
Yeah.
so he probably wouldn't even be able to see them. Maybe they
Oh,
feel
yeah.
maybe they feel ignored by him.
Yeah.
That's why they think he's an asshole.
Well, you know, not everyone is lucky enough to be able to see you all.
Really?
Yeah,
God,
she-
we're fucking
she's like-
blowing this person's mind.
she says, yes. I mean, some of us are gifted with the ability to do so, and
Gifted. Yeah.
I always knew humans were the lower
Yeah.
species.
Yeah,
lowest
we're stupid as shit. Where's your husband?
Yeah, the husband comes
Jesus.
back and he's like,
Here's the little jewelry box that he left behind.
and it's a very flamboyant jewelry
of
box.
course it is,
It's,
with like a big embossed F
exactly,
on
So
it.
ornate.
exactly. Tasteful wouldn't come to mind.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And then he's like,
And I'll give it to you, but I've been instructed to give you this. In order to get it, you need to answer this riddle.
Oh God
Francible.
damn it, Franzabal.
What 5-letter word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it?
and luckily for you two, you have 1 week to figure it out. Because I'll see you next week.
What a cliffhanger. Folks, if you know the riddle, call us.
Call us because I'm really bad at puzzles and riddles and everything. Because I have a dog and a bone.